Hi everyone, so it's already the end of 2021. I cannot believe it. I don't know where the time went, but I'm just so grateful that I'm still here and I'm so grateful that you are still here. So I just hope that in the coming new year, everything will be in a much more positive light for all of us. Now, for today, I would really like to create a nice, festive New Year's Eve celebration kind of a look. And the reason why I decided to do this video is because I have these liquid cream eyeshadows. Well, I think that they're eyeshadows. These are from Danessa Myricks, and I think these are like multi-use. Yeah, here it says that it's a waterproof liquid pigment for eye, lips, and cheeks. So it's an all-over kind of a thing. This is the first time that I'm trying out products from Danessa, and since I can see, we can just really see from the packaging on how glittery they are, and I just said to myself, this is the perfect time to actually try these out. So I have three colors here, and I think these pigments from Danessa Myricks come in different finishes. I've seen on Beautylish that they come in matte formula, they come in shimmer formula, and they come in like this very high shine glitter type of formula. Now I'm not too sure how many colors there are in each collection, so if you just want to know more about it, you can go and check it out at Beautylish. But I only have three colors here, and this color is called Ballerina. It's a very nice pinky color, and this is how it looks like swatched in my arm. Look at all the glitter. Then this very nice electric blue kind of color is called Fireworks. Very pretty. And this is how it looks like swatched in my arm. Such a fabulous color. Very beautiful. Very electric blue. And the next color that we have here is called Wild Orchid, and it's a very nice purplish color, and I can really see the glitter is peeking from the packaging. It's also very pretty. Now each of these tubes come with 10 mils of product, and it has a 12 months use by date. And where is this made? This is made in let me check the packaging. Hang on. Oh, I can see here in the packaging that it is actually made in China. Alright, so I'm going to start with the eyes first for today's look. And this color, Wild Orchid, is actually calling out my name. But before I apply this on my eyes, I would like to swatch this first at the back of my hand. Ooh, and I love the packaging of this cream product, and I love the tube that it comes in, and I really appreciate these kinds of packaging because it's just easier to keep it clean and sanitized at all times. Okay, so let's get to know this cream product first. So what I did is I applied a little bit of the product at the back of my hand, and with a synthetic brush I'm just gonna spread this a little bit, and to see how well the pigments of this cream product actually spreads. And I can really see now from the get-go that I can see that the glitters are quite fine, but if we see them, I can see them clumped up together, so it might get a little bit chunky when we apply this on the eyes, and I'm a little bit worried with that because as I've said in my previous videos before, if I have very chunky glitters on my eyes, it's going to be very uncomfortable. So let's see as we go along on how the sensation on my eyes is going to feel with these cream products from Danessa. Okay, so I'm just spreading the product, spreading out the edges and trying to see how much playtime I have with these products, and I can see that we don't have much, so we have to work with this fast. So as I've said before, if you watch some of my videos that featured liquid or cream eyeshadows, when you're using these types of products, you have to be very sure of your application, and you just have to approach it with gusto. Now these units brushes are fairly new to me, so I am still getting to know them, and I do have to say they're very pretty. But of all the four brushes here, these two brushes, the blending brushes, they're just a little bit too soft for my liking, especially if I'm using them with cream eyeshadow products, because I need a little bit more resilience with brushes when I am using cream eyeshadows because you just need that strength in order to blend out the pigments and the formula. So let's see if these will work for us today. So I'm going to skip using an eye base because this is a long wear formula, and if I put an eye base and if I put a long wear formula, I think it's gonna make my eyes a little bit too dry, and it just might make it a little bit uncomfortable because it gets very tight. And if you're planning to use products like these during the New Year celebration, I think it's best that you minimize a lot of long wear formulas in your eyes because one, you might be very tired already when midnight comes around, and of course you might be drinking some wine, so your body might get a little bit sleepy and your eyes will just get heavy. So the less products on the eyes, the better. Alright, so what I'm doing now is I'm picking up this flat brush and I'm just going to apply it straight onto my eyelid, and I'm just going to pat it all over, and I'm just spreading the product well into my socket line. Okay, so I'm just following my eye shape, so that way when I open my eyes, my crease already does the job of hiding the edges. Wow, this is a very nice pop of color. Okay, so I'm getting now the big fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to diffuse the edges. Okay, so I'm finding that I'm having a little bit of trouble blending, from the get-go. As soon as I landed the brush on my eyes, it's just way too soft. So we actually need a much more resilient blending brush for these products from Danessa in order to be able to blend out the edges. Okay, so I wasn't expecting these products to dry this fast, and I can feel it tightening on my eyes already. So I wasn't able to successfully blend out the edges, so I'm just going back into the back of my hand with this fluffy blending brush, and I'm just spreading out the product here at the back, and hopefully this will help to blend out the edges. Now, if there's anything that I have observed about the Danessa Myricks metallic pigments, when you first apply it on your eyelid, it's a very matte color. It looks like it's all like purple, but as it starts to dry and the silicones start to evaporate, the shimmer colors do come out, and as it continues to dry, you're actually able to blend out the pigments. But if there's anything that I have observed about this is that we can already see some fallout. So proceed with caution when you're using this. Okay, so I'm just going to add more of the color here on the outer corner of my eyes. Alright, so what I am observing is that it got patchy a little bit quickly, and there's a little bit of space here on my mobile lid where my skin is showing through. Now, what I'm going to do in order to salvage that area is that I'm just going to layer more of the product on that area, just so that we have a much more better and a fuller coverage of color, and we don't see any patchiness or holes or the color of my skin showing through. Okay, so now I'm getting the pencil brush, and I'm using this to apply the color here at the outer portions of my eyes, and I'm trying to see if I can blend that into my socket line. Okay, and with a flat brush, I'm just going to apply some of that color on my lower lash line, and I'm also going to try to create a lift here and connect it into the eyeshadow on my upper eyelids. Okay, so I am actually having a little bit of trouble blending out this product well on my eyes, although I'm quite happy on how I'm able to diffuse the edges, but this product needs a lot of work. So if you are someone who's very novice when using cream eyeshadows, just be patient and try to get to know this product before you actually play around with it. Alright, so since I'm actually having trouble blending out the edges into a very nice smoky look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a powder eyeshadow just to blur the edges and to further refine this eye look. Alright, so I have here my It's My Pleasure palette from Colourpop, and I would like to use this color here as sort of like a transition shade, and I'm just picking up a little bit of it with this brush from Sonia G, and this is what I'm going to use around like my socket line, and I'm just going to use very light windshield wiper motions, and I'm just going to try to blend out the edges and also, like, create the shape that will lift my eye. And because the look that I envisioned and creating today is a smoky look, because it's great for New Year's Eve celebrations, so you really have to smoke it out and to blend everything out nicely. And my village squirrel is with us today. I don't know why he's a little bit noisy, but he's usually here in the afternoon, so he's a little bit early today. Alright, so I was actually quite happy that I was able to blend out the edges, and I actually use a much more lighter shade of color so that we just have a nice gradation on the eyes. And I do have to say though that at this point I am not entirely happy with my eye look, but let's just play it by ear. So since I envisioned this look to be a smoky eye kind of a look, I have here my Kajal eyeliner from Laura Mercier, and I'm going to apply this all over my upper lash line. Wow, ouch, okay. Ow. Alright, so unfortunately the glitters are a little bit too chunky, and just be very careful when you are applying this cream eyeshadow close to your lash line, because there might be a tendency of it getting into your eyes, and that's going to be very painful. And also if you're using cream eyeliners or gel eyeliners or kajal eyeliners, you might feel a little bit of some sensation when you're actually pressing the pencil, or the what you call this, the eyeliner itself on your eyelid, because the chunky glitter gets pressed into the skin. So just try to be very light-handed. Okay, now I'm applying it onto my inner waterline on my upper lash line, and now I'm going to apply it into my inner waterline on my lower lash line. Alright, so now I'm just using a smudger brush, and I'm just smudging out the edges of the eyeliner. Okay, so again, I am feeling some sensations on my eyelid, wherein if I press anything, the glitters kind of hurt. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the colors on my other eyes. I'm just going to zoom through it, and then let's proceed after. So I've done both eyes now, and I'm going to apply some mascara, and this is a tubing kind of a mascara, and this is from VMV Hypoallergenics. And I was actually initially planning on using false eyelashes for us today, but since I am actually feeling that this eye look has a lot of texture on it, and I can feel the texture of the eyeshadow, I decided not to, because if I use false eyelashes, um, it's gonna make my eyes really heavy. It's gonna make me feel heavy, and it's gonna make me feel very tired. So this tubing mascara also will be very easy to remove at the end of the night. So it's not gonna be too difficult for you or even for me to remove this eye look when I am through. So I'm just adding layers of the mascara just so that it creates a lot of volume and a lot of length. And this will just really help in intensifying the depth that the Kajal eyeliner from Laura Mercier created on my lash line. And this will just help create more drama on the eye as well. So I'm just gonna clean out some of the edges from the eyeliner here, like here in the inner corner. And I'm seeing some gaps, so I'm just gonna have to fill it in again. Right, so much better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my base now, but first I'm going to be using this makeup remover wipe because as you guys can see, I have a lot of fallout on my skin, and I really wasn't expecting that, and I'm glad that I decided to add my base after I've applied the eyeshadow because it's going to be very difficult to actually clean out this eyeshadow from my skin. Okay, so I'm adding the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. So this is in the blurring formula. And I'm just concentrating it here in my under eye area because because I use a makeup remover, so it basically removed all of my skincare that I applied before I shot this video. So I just needed to prime it again, and I used a blurring formula, and the main reason why is because it just helps to blur out my pores in the area, and this will also help in emphasizing my eye look more. Okay, next I'm going to use my foundation, and today I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm just going to spread it all over. And the main reason why I would suggest that you guys use like either, well, it depends on your skin type, but it's always nice to use like a matte formula for these types of celebrations because you're always moving, like, you know, during the new year. So you're like dancing with your family, you're like eating, and it just really helps to keep your makeup on for the entire duration of New Year's Eve celebrations. Just make sure that you're using like the right skincare under this. So I'm just spreading it all over, and I'm just buffing it well into my skin, and it's creating a very nice, you know, even canvas for this look. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding this, like, you know, bronzer, and I actually want to apply it in a much more sculptural manner, and I'm going to be using the Sculpt 4 brush. Yes, this is the Sculpt 4 brush from Sonia G, and I'm just going to start here at the very back end of my cheekbones, and I'm just going to spread it gently, cupping my bone structure. And then I'm just going to blend it upward. So I think this color will just add some warmth to the skin. And because this has a very nice browny yellowy tone to it, this will work really well in emphasizing my eye look more. And I'm not really planning of contouring my face because I really don't like contouring much because I find that it can get quite muddy very quickly. But adding this very nice bronzy cream product, so I have been using this all year, and I just really love the tone of it, and I just love how much warmth it gives to the skin in a very nice natural way. Okay, and I just want to add a little bit of that here on my temple area. I'm just going to do that here also on the other side. Now I'm applying it in this area, just right above where my cheekbone ends, so that when the light actually hits it, the bronzer kind of just makes my temple sink, and it just makes my cheekbones pop out some more. Okay, I'm just getting the brush that I used earlier for my foundation, and I'm just going to pat it and try to blend them together. Okay, now for concealer, I'm going to be using my NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, and this is in Custard, and I'm just going to apply it here in this area where I just need some light, and this will just really help emphasize the smokiness of the eye look today. So I'm just patting it in and just blending it, and it's going to help open up my cheekbones some more. And I'm doing my other eye now, and whatever is left on the brush, I'm just gonna pat it here on the bridge of my nose just to act as a highlight of sorts. Okay, so now I'm just gonna set the concealer with some loose powder. So this is just translucent powder, just so that it doesn't run. You have to be very careful with that because after all, we are wearing a very nice smoky eye look today. And this kajal eyeliner that I use is not a long wearing type of a kajal eyeliner, which I actually like because as the day progresses, it kind of like melts into the skin and it creates a very nice, rock and roll chic kind of a look. Alright, and now I'm gonna lightly set my entire face with powder, and I'm using my powder brush from the Kirameki set from Chikuhodo that I bought for their holiday 2022 release. And I do have to say that this is actually the main inspiration for my eye look today. Yay! So I'm just lightly pressing the powder into my skin just to set the foundation and to minimize shine. Now I don't really have to mattify my face because the foundation should do that for me already. And now what I want to do is I want to finish the eye look, and what I have here is my Divine Rose 2 palette from Pat McGrath, which I am enjoying ever since I bought it. And now what I want to do is I want to use this color here. It has a very nice pink yet lavender shade, and I actually want to use that here at the inner corner of my eye. So I'm just patting the color there and blending it into the Danessa Myricks cream eyeshadow using my Kirameki Purple brush from Chikuhodo. So this is the pencil brush, and I'm just blending the color well into the eyeshadow that I applied earlier. Okay, this will just really help open up the inner corner of my eye. And it's also just going to add some brightness to an already very smoky eye look. And I'm just going to do that here on the other eye now. And I'm just going to blend everything out. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up these two colors, the special shade from this palette. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of it here in the middle. And because this gold color has a very nice yellow tone in it, it's just going to counteract with the very purple tones of the Danessa Myricks eyeshadow that I applied earlier. And it's just going to complement each other, and they're just going to help each other pop out on my eyes. And it's just going to add some brightness and personality. And also it's just going to tie up with the sparkles that we see on the brush handle. And now for my brows, I'm just going to use this brow pen from K Palette, and I'm just going to create very light strokes. I'm not going to overfill my brows with it because if I do, it's going to create too much darkness on my eye look today. But I just want to keep it defined but natural at the same time. Ooh, I'm actually loving how well the pink yet lavender color from Pat McGrath actually blended well into the Danessa Myricks cream eyeshadow. Very pretty. I'm so glad for that. Alright, so now I want to finish out my eye look, and I'm going to go back into the It's My Pleasure palette from Colourpop, and with the pencil brush from the Kirameki set, I'm going to pick up some of this color again, and I'm just going to tap the excess at the back of my hand, and I'm just going to lightly brush it along my lower lash line, just so that we lose some of the edges from earlier. And let's also connect it into my upper eyelid now, and connect it into my socket line just to add more definition. Okay, and I'm also not going to add any highlighter into my brow area because I want the yellow tones of my skin to act as a natural highlighter for this look. Because it's already very, very shimmery, my eyes is already very glittery, so I don't want to add any more shine in that area. Okay, now I'm picking up again my kajal eyeliner, and I'm just adding some of this black eyeliner here at the outer edge of my eyes, just so that it becomes much more deeper and it doesn't reflect the light more, because there's a part of my eye here that if I don't put any of the black eyeliner, it really reflects the light back and it just like loses the shape of the eye look that I created. because it just like, the light reflects and it creates like a hole in that area, and I really don't like that. And this just really helps in maintaining the depth that I need in that area of my eye. All right, now I want to add a hint of radiance on my skin. So what I have here is my Torre Meteorites, and I have here my very new Hachiko brush from Beautylish, and I'm just picking up some of the product with this brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush it all over. And I'm not really worried if I'm picking up a lot of shimmer products from the Guerlain Meteorites, because this brush is made of Chikuhodo goat hair, so this will not pick up a ton of product, but just enough. But the thing is, from the permanent range from the Guerlain Meteorites, it's not a very shimmery type of a finishing powder. Their limited editions are more shimmering than this. So as you guys can see now, it's just adding a little bit of some radiance on my skin. It's also adding a little bit of some soft focus effect. And that's also the main reason why I used a matte foundation earlier, because I am planning to actually use some of my Guerlain Meteorites for this look. And if I use like a radiant foundation, there's just going to be too much shine on my skin. Now the thing is, during New Year celebrations, it's always dim. It's either the lights are low or you're just like using candlelight. So you really need to add some hint of radiance and shimmer just to make your skin look nice in that kind of lighting. Alright, now I have here my Gold Pearl Meteorites. And with my Hachiko brush, I'm just going to use this to add some hint of golden tones onto my cheekbones. This is going to add some nice radiance and warmth onto my skin, and this will just really help in make my eye look pop out more. And it's just also going to add a hint of definition on my skin without adding too much color. And for my lips, I'm going to be using this color from Lisa Eldridge, and it's called Velvet Intrigue. This is a very nice peachy kind of a color to it. It's a very nice nude. It has some warmth into it. So this color will work really well for my eye look today because it has a very nice peachy tone to it, which is warm. So this will really help in emphasizing the cool tones of my eye look today. Don't you think? And for my lip liner, I'm using this color from Colourpop. Now the reason why I'm using this lip liner is because it's a little bit deeper than the Velvet Intrigue lipstick from Lisa Eldridge. And the thing with me is I have very thin lips, especially when I start speaking and smiling. So adding this very nice definition to my lip can really help in emphasizing my lip shape and just making it look defined but muted at the same time. It's a very nice lip liner color, and I love the tone that it created on my lips today. Alright, so this is my complete look. What do you guys think? Do you guys approve? I think this is a great look to usher in 2022. All this glitter on the eye is just absolutely perfect. Now, my final thoughts on the Danessa Myricks cream eyeshadow. Where is that? This one is a little bit difficult to work with, so you have to work with it fast. Now, if you're using this for your eyeshadow, you have to use this in tandem with a powder eyeshadow so that you're just able to blend out the edges properly. Now, I do have to say I was initially worried that I might not be able to create a nice eye look with this eyeshadow, but with using like an eyeliner, using powder eyeshadows, I was able to create this eye look that I envisioned in my head. Now, I do have to say though that I can feel a little bit of the chunky glitters on my eyelids, and this is just me personally because my crease almost hits my lashes, and when I start blinking, I can just really feel the texture, and I'm afraid that it might cause my eyes to have a little bit of some irritation, especially if I wear this all day and all night. So I might have to remove this later. But if you don't have the same eye shape as I do, and if you have a lot of that mobile lid which is exposed, then this should be perfect for you. Now, one other thing, because the product actually dries very, very fast, you actually like eject a lot of the product out at the back of your hand, but you only use less of it on the eye. So it's a little bit tricky to play with, and it's a little bit wasteful in that sense because I have a lot of product here at the back of my hand, but I only have a little bit here on my eyelid. And one other thing, it can also get very messy very quickly. So if you're using this as an eyeshadow, use this first before you apply your foundation, your base, your blush, your concealer, whatever, because it's just going to be much more easier for you to actually create a makeup look that way. Alright, so that's it from me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about all of the products that I used today, please leave them down at the comments box and let's have a conversation about it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you're having a wonderful New Year's celebration wherever you are. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.